Obusiyama memma wakwaba mbra eye Dr. Ren TV so ewo YouTube. Ene ebetwetwe nkomo afa eye Ejapade series so. Enti gina so. Enko baby just share the video. Unfollow me ewo eye me YouTube ya now subscribe ya. But more subscribe and then follow. Ye ba betwetwe nkomo. Anyway, my memma Facebook for akwaba. Facebook for nyina memma mo akwaba eba Dr. Ren politics too. Ene ye bedin komo afa eye Ejapade to wit inheritance. Mishimi ewo two different platforms, so eye Facebook on my right and eye YouTube so on my left. And you won't follow me with YouTuber, but more subscribe it for me. Won't follow me so ewo Dr. Ren politics and so but more na edimechi. Mema eye yenuanom akwaba mema Otuaba TV akwaba mema eye Adjo Frimpoma menuaba mema no akwaba life matters with eye and TV and so mema mo akwaba abusia enen komo no aye ba bedi no ye baba bedi nkomo bi afa eye book bi a yato din Ejapade wo de cobro focus mo a eye inheritance Simmons memo akwaba. Na book we no eye book bi a eye nana adodankwa ekufu Addo. Wone na ebusua eye de achim dodo no aka achim mafias no. Wo mutena ase no mo troye na eja wo mo make sure say omu follow ensem a ewo book. Ena me no bedi nkomo bi na matwem adwene aba Bible ne so. The entire people respect the Bible. Ebi mo say is about history book. Bible no a history book. Ensem bi a esi ye. Ene ensem bi a nkofo bi atena se atro se ye pese esi daache. Tiemi ye. Ye pese e den esi daache. Endi sa emu nsem no ye pese esi daache no. Amanfo tu ho anamon se daache no. Ensem na wotwere kunkunum no ebesi. Enti wotie kira why do you say, wow, God wrote the Bible? No, human beings wrote the Bible. But of course, people say human beings wrote the Bible because it was inspired by God. Those people saying it, no, it's up to you to believe or not to believe, because you and I were not there when God was speaking to them. So I would take it as a logician. I would take it as somebody me shia and woman akwa enim kakra. Enye bebrede enti no ma adwene ne beye adwuma enti me de eye Ejapade no be kire how eye relevant say any 2000 years to come enu me ni wiase somebody would take Ejapade book no and will say wow, everything in the Ejapade book no is happening is because people thought about Ejapade no, how to take our inheritance, and they are working towards it to take our inheritance by force. Because it's very, very important. Mame acknowledge the presence of a freedom fighters, your coordinator, warfire, the nation's uncle. Namin chia and anatakra and a kojo frimpong, memao akwaba, salis and so ewaha or shemi. Ebusia, bomodiana share video no, because I see a gifty, memao akwaba. Intiane yebesia Ejapade no. Ejapade booki. Minya free him, and na me Dr. Ren mensa kanye. The first person na mama who this Ejapade book Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum. Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum and mama who Ejapade book we. At that time na me hear adwuma Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum. Unim say UK so or adwuma we bie wa ha eja ofankofo. Emra Ekufu Addo attack in the bank. Ye meeting bi a ye call ye. People were asking questions, say, Dr. Indum, dear now, what is your next step? What are you going to do about it? And a Dr. Indum catch and say, dear Esino, a dear MPP, a kufuadomo, or matro book, I don't see the book, no, ye mubi no, ye in the media, no, ye propagate the agenda, no. For a year, a friend and said, Dr. Indum, the good deeds, no. You who say, sana, Dr. Indum, and yes, Sebu, the bank, no, a insolvent, there be, and yes, sir, no moment, a year bois payobi, ana nkofo bi afa kwati kwan bi so kripono make sure say won be ye wosikani na wodi ne sika no sabio de adominate ama Ghana fo afolo no. And it was something a grand agenda ewo Ejapade book Ejapade book. When you say what about Ejapa we know Ejapade into Venn diagram no subset na ewo wo mu no and then menu ba be di ho nkomo bi e wadwenim na hunu ensem a ekoso wo Ghana no say enye se onyankopon bi na ema bibi ahokyere no aba na bi eye human designed. Anything I see wo my Ghana mu no fa ahokyere no eye human designed. Some people have purposely designed for us to be poor so that they can control us. See, Ukraine. What you say? Stalin and time, you know, on Bombardier said he will cripple people's business, make people poor. And into or the story of Akoko. Anna Otutu ne ho. Ukraine. One of the to say Ghana the Blaster Square. No. Otutu Akoko no wiye no. And wo jai Akoko ni say Akoko ne nante. Akoko ne nante na people were saying say Stalin utimu adin we wicked we evil. Owie no started so oja ebro e de tofo into the ebro to wa na Akoko na follow no aso baako into oyesa na Akoko ni dinechi owie no che Akoko no. And wo de kire ewiase won mo ana omo twa no nwahia say won hu Akoko we Akoko nte se mo bebre no a mo gina me nchen no. Onipa bia no uma ne kwa ho kire mu a na oboa no na uma ne bibi kakra ohunu se wo ye ne nyankopon. Sana politicians e de ye o man Ghana for omama ye ho ekire yen na wo mu omama ye t-shirt omama ye cap eye emo omama ye oil. In the moment a obenya bi no you see them as as demigods, but in truth they are the servants. Now yenko book nim na yen share Ejapade no ase enti me ma the content of the book. If we content no na eja ma kyerɛw de eja book no senia esitie enti content no de nneoma ewo book nim na me ne wo bedi ho nkomo enti contents enti we are no atro forward na baba nneoma no a ekwan a wo mo befa so no ma di oman no sebio abro na Akufo Addo mo atro. Book where was inspired by Ochihini. Anna supported by Ken Ofori Atta. Book where no inspiration no Ochihini. Amwetia Ofori Ping. Sponsor now would dear Nimwa or make sure so mo printy book no. Ken Ofori Atta. Yanko the book no content ni enema ewo. One book no forward no talks about the future of Achimfo, the future of this family ofa Ghana ye nota omo de omo abata Kwame Nkrumah se omo na ye the big six. Open big six the true picture of the big six. Kwasha Ghana video 1957. Woman no money Kwame Nkrumah ejina podium neso woman the big six. But and then woman ye yi woman free wo. And ye didn't kophobia but Kwame Nkrumah ho. And ye almost say woman the big six. When in actual fact, those people never fought for the independence of Ghana. They never believed in independence of Ghana. J.B. Dankwa book, a letter with trauma Queen Elizabeth, a dear dance here. He says that Ghana was not a country as your money independence. Yankosonian Sumbruni. So they believe in the white supremacist. It almost be far behind so. No more their inheritance, a Japanese. It will come book anymore. It talks about the future of Achimfo. Then it talks about the present. Your present team, to secure the future of Achim people. A quite ben so any to have dominance, financial dominance. The financial, a friend is saying, superpowers. It will be true. It will book him. Now, you need common. One, you be kind book no, because me person me bo me trim na maka me new na you be kind a year forward no, and I read. I say, to our future, made up of the present and the unborn, for whom this will of a nation is being prepared. To now ye Aibenino, we are Zmenino, we are Fantinino, we are Cranino, we are Cesalani, we are Gunjani, we are Santini. Why do you say a man gun and in I am new me no dear? A kufwadonic a year of free penny. A chim for no be in it. Ya a chim for you in you. Or no, say and a minor. One more bet no more fat are you or dear. Yen to uncommoners. Was it to our foremost king of for repaying? The progenies spread across this world for whom and to whom alone this scared document is prepared. It will pursue a child a document, no, a holy, sacrosanct, a dear be a sumbo, a dear be a yadi yakuma, yagini, ye be a yadaching. Ejina book we so. He said the Christopher Bible no. Woman say Bible no de e won bibia they call it the Holy Bible. A kufuado emu kan wa ha say sa ejapade we no to wit inheritance no. Eye homo holy book. Woma kuma womo dachi ejina book we so. Nti e be kwa de e wo book ni. Forward na making can you mean no baby. Now betiasie de ntia enwoma bi ACC e wo man Ghana. O betiasie e wo book ni. O say as the hair of Nana Apieni kwaframa Nana kuntum kununku and Ofori Penyin. Our people were never defeated in the wars of old. We were nobody's subjects. And yet, after 1957, we were made to live in the shadow of the descendants of people. We were made to live in the shadows of the descendants of people who never defeated us in war. Diana book ni pese wachere. We no wachere asante. O pese wachere se one mo achemfo de obi an defeat wo mo. E fa Ghana se ye ti wo man nim no a ye be form Ghana ansa na ye be form Ghana no. No obi antumi di ye so nkunim. But then you know, they are living in the shadows of Omwa. Ye defeat wo akun. Omni asante for ne kasawa. These people, me pesa me ame pass me judgment and me comment. Nti pesa me ye na ye sua de. Ya ba classroom for a book and a pen. Ye sua de. O to aso say, who never defeated us in war, while the Asante kingdom was uplifted to put us in the shade. Just say, ye ma asante for hene so. Ye ma asante so. Ye bo asante sa asante de. Womuni ekukudam for no. Ana ye twen wo mo share baby. In relatively recent times, the struggles and work of J.B. Dankwa to restore Ochiman to its original glory were touted, but he fought bravely to the end. 7-0. So, to this particular book, it's about Ochiman. Ochiman. Ofori pain. Eye womo hene. Edano. Ofori pain no. Ene eye womo nananom no. Womo pese ebe tumre bi no. Ghana ebe hu womo se womo ni osagifo. Womo ni eye the greatest of all. Woman is the godfather of the country. Into Yantuaso. We now a forward. Also, with the arrival of Nana the Dankwa Kufuado, Asemi no Bekano. Asemi no Bekano. With the arrival of Nana, we see the rebirth of second J.B. Dankwa, who has come to the rescue. He has come to rescue the J.B. Dankwa's family, the Nana Oforipenyi's family, the Nana Kuntum Kununkun family, the Oforiates family. This is what Assembly. But I already throw book no. Ejina so. Now, we know what to us say. Full cognizant that we were recently part of the modern nation of Ghana, the name of which was originally proposed by the illustrious son of Oforipenyin Fie of Ochiman, J.B. Dankwa. Into what I say, Edin Ghana no. Edin Ghana no. Eye obi a ye friend J.B. Dankwa. Ana etu din no ma yen. De wono mo kire ni o. Me se me de me kan book me nyamfa me revelation emfa ma o. Yen go along. The nation's anchor or say this revelation is doing can never be done on our radios and TV. So please do well to share. That is the gospel truth. This particular series, Peace FM phone to me, yeah, become comedy book here making Peace FM din City FM for din book here making kind of a series. You better your bossy. Near chile, near the adjuni ababe dear chile. Na young di kudienti a kufu domo. Shada ama ye wa chile yen wo my Ghana. Yen to us way. Well, see, I mean, I say full cognizant that we were currently part of the modern nation of Ghana, the name of which was originally proposed by the illustrious son of Oforipenyin Fie of Ochiman J.B. Dankwa, and are aware that is the currently made up of other diverse peoples. We have to accept our old selves and ensure that we no longer continue to live in the shadows of other kings and people whose forebears we defeated in war. So Akufo-Addo ni Oforipenyin any kind of Oforiatam omo resurrecti ekumbia etwa mu na yam for me Ghana na ye ni Ghana enti saa ekono yen kenya ye ho sisi Akufo-Addo ye mampanyin de yen kenya ye ho ne ye kenya ye ho a na ye make sure say wo mo emere bi etwa mu ye defeat wo mo ekon mu no yen san endi wo mo so bie because ena die ya kan ye ho abom ye o man Ghana de Ye won kofo bi omo so hihye Ghana nim, but I see ye sorry ni ye pagya. Ni ye gina ho. I see ye sorry ye pagya, ye gina ho. Ya sorry ni am pagya ni ye gina ho. Ye ntimi gi. Ye maame no mu kuro no omo gima ye nye ochimanfo no. Ti. Ti yenkwe. No, say, in spite of our tremendous contribution to this Ghana entity, they are referring to Ghana as an entity, as a commodity. Ochiman has not been credited with the appropriate awe and grandeur that we rightly deserve in recent times. Woman say, woman contributed towards Ghana pa. And the monyam shen wa esi ade ma woman hene wache man no. Yamfa ma no. Abodini esi ade ma woman no. Yamfa ma woman. Woman flowers esi ade ma woman. We've not given them their flowers. It's woman there. They know so they rightly deserve. It say currently, with Nana in total control of the whole entity of Ghana, we have a duty. Or say, we have a duty to ensure we take over the commanding heights of the essential fabric of the country, in order that even in the event that Nana leaves the scene after the mandatory 8 years. Now, note the word mandatory. Not the word mandatory. 8 years, the sons and daughters of Ochiman will be firmly secured and such control, both financial and economically, that we can no longer be ignored in the battle to control the destiny of Ghana. I will share a video with Enyapa. Utie news bia wa Ghana bia who yan seen the video we are me no. So what video we ase a obeti ase Akufo-Addo mu de kodie nti a wo man Ghana no ebu nkotodwe na na omu ye billionaires omu wo sika sen Ghana. And I've said this thing to you people be we di mechi for 4 years e can attest to it. Say my culture will say Akufo-Addo's family are richer than the nation. Yentoa so ekusu forward no yenko baby a YouTube phone na memokwaba, Facebook phone na memokwaba. Many bet Daniel call left and right feature me. I'm using 2 different platforms. Why? You know, it here. Or say to achieve sir commanding heights now woman can sir controlling the essential fabric of the nation, no. For the daughters and sons of Ochiman, this is what they have to do. Or say, to achieve, we need to appropriate the fundamental economic and financial levers, which will guarantee such control in years to come. In doing this, we need to be strategic. We would have to work with other people from some of the diverse ethnic groups, including some carefully selected people in Asante and other diverse ethnicities or lands. this would make them believe that they also have a hand in the pie. It will be obscure. It would obscure any suspicion that the project is essentially an Ofori-Penning project. Ghana has become a project for Akufo-Addo and Ofori-Penning and Ken Ofori-Atta. Was it this point is crucial because with electoral politics, we have to have our eyes on the numbers in the electoral process. We cannot be blatant until we are completely secure in the endeavor. It is especially so because so far the Asantes constitutes the single most populous ethnic group in the country. Although the Asante groups within the current MPP is gearing itself to take over the party after Nane's tenure in 2024, it will be ideal if we could work to bypass them in 2024. With hard work, we could work to pass the mantle over to non-Akan person, preferably from the north, and whose presidency would secure the maturity of our takeover project. Fachemi. Enti mami nkyerɛkyerɛ mu kakra wɔ ama na te aseɛ yie. Enti kakra yi a meka kyerɛ wɔ 2024 ɛdeɛ na ɔmo yɛɛyɛ ɛsɛ yɛ make sure sɛ yɛbɛkyinkyim abatoɔ no na yɛde ama ɛyɛ Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia na yɛagye afiri Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten nsɛm because yɛtumi gye firi Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten nsɛm na yɛde ma Bawumia deɛ a we can control Bawumia. And in controlling the Bawumia, the presidency, we could secure the majority of our takeover project. Alan will make Ashanti still powerful. Alan will make the Ashanti still great. Because we are competing with Asante 4. We, the Achimfo, we, Ochiman, Yang Ofori-Penning for Ofori-Penning enkwada no wo mano, we compete with Asantes. Ye ni numbers no de ekwan bi ebefa so ebema Asante ayemere na yenya take dominance over eye Asantefo ene wo man Ghana no. Ekwan a ese efa so enie. Eno nti abato no ye be make sure say de aba no be ma Bawumia. Ebusia abemu anembe. O hwemi a mebusa abemu anembe. Nti we Holy Bible, Holy Bible, nti abemu say Bible no dey wow. Ensem na esi no they work towards it. Nti dey who no Bible mu bia no asisi no people are behind working towards it. Tinam ka say Bible no ntokwanti ana obi kyerɛ Bible no to propagate an agenda of religion. Min komune but mbesa wonya ntiase wo we ho. On say asem o mo kan ye. Eno na o ma ya amana bem 2020 o mkoto abayi. 2023 o mkoto abayi flag bearer no. Bawumia na ye wo mo flag bearer. Mebo ana. Alan Kodwo Kyerɛmanten wa den we dwane free party ni. Because we tell a nke be poison, nke be kuno enti we dwane. And this is Yakudi Himfa, a connot, Yentua and commonism. We now a forward and a woman. Was say when we have finally captured the command and control sectors of the country for our private use. Oh God, have mercy. They want it for their private use. Into my Ghana, no. A man for a teki ayomo private use. They say akwara wabano toy the open or day. The Ghana na be private use for Akufo-Addo mo. Into Ghana AGYAPADE and channel so you turn them up private companies, and the people behind the private companies near Akufo-Addo mo. So that is why you saw them with the AGYAPA, with the PDS, no. What you are saying? These were women taking over the ECG already. No, they almost making sure say they will collapse the banking system. And that is the reason why I'm telling you. So the first person Oma mean Sakan Sabukui, a doctor, Papa we see Indu, and Mra, you collapse in the bank, no, and he got this. And to us, I say, when we have finally captured the command and control sectors of the country for our private usage, we would then be in the better position to wield the necessary political and economic muscle to manage the destiny of this country under the reign of the House of Oforipeyin. Are you following? Are you following the story? The reality, the holy sacrosanct document of Oforipeyin. And this year when you to me no eba be DNSM. This is too many be DNSM. The control of Ghana no will not come from the Jubilee House. It is all by a president. You are a president, but you don't have the power. The power will be from a year of repaying. They said the way we a prime minister who to me there, but the to me be a best in science a jina a chronosono, a set a court a year, a Buckingham Palace, not the king, Eden, Ejitu, San and Kofu, we person of your mind Ghana. It's yen to us. Also, to be specific, we need to strengthen our efforts to control the mineral resources, as well as the electricity and water institutions. The success of the project depends on the way in which we, for the time being, control the judiciary and the press. And you and I know, sir, when it comes to Ghana, Akufo-Addo, they control the press. Most of these journalists are who they are the ones are no more planting Richard Sky, more City FM, where a friend is saying Paul Adomochia or Metro TV. These are the people or more a planting warm. They picked them, planted them to use them for their purpose, because of this project. And so we are no more to us, some say, and a judiciary should be warning. Who call the judiciary? They control it like they said the woman said, and I'm a boy. Judiciary the omafa. But they are here. Now, to us, also we conclude with a word of caution. Until we have secured the critical sectors under our control, we should minimize the danger of obvious acts of individual corruption. So they know, say, this particular it will lead to corruption. They know. Because when they start taking over electricity company, taking over the ECG, sika be bring nsem, obi wo wa sika ne ba ne nsem a, the money will control them. So they are cautioning themselves. Ade aye nyina no sika. Yensa ka sika no a, enije beba. Ebe ri ebe free ho. Ebe ye nyoma bi the way ebe man nkofo bi ehun say, there be nkofo we, omo ya kronfo, omo boy nkron no. And then what do you see in Ghana now today? Today, what do you see in Ghana? Corruption everywhere. Abi? Corruption everywhere. entity. Also, we should minimize the danger of obvious acts of individual corruption in order not to alienate the rest of the population. We must focus on the ultimate goal. We must seek first the economic and financial levers, and all others will follow eventually. I mean, share Facebook for any. I mean, more BBA. I mean, kind this particular portion we are about YouTube for. Or say, we must seek first the economical and financial freedom or power, and all others will follow eventually. YouTube for the Akufo Addo ne Ken Oforiata and then Nana Oforipenyi Ekeni. Almost say we must seek first the economic and financial levers, and all others will follow eventually. So, in essence, or in short, let's capture all the natural resources. Let it become our private, a friend is saying, belongings, and other things will follow. Because if somebody wants to become an MP, the person will need capital. They have to direct them to Oforipenyi's palace to get the support. He has to take an oath, swear allegiance to Oforipenyi to get support to win election. It's about control. It's about dominance. It's about having power. That is what this AGYAPA is all about. And that money, that dominance, no, is about you and I, our natural resources that these people want to take control of. Our future, the future of Ghana. Our natural resources, no, they want it greedily. A way forward, no. Content, no. What is inside the content? I mean, we are a bit the contents near economic and financial sector control. That is where I got this AGYAPA. I got this AGYAPA in 2019. Yes, from Dr. Indu. Because you remember, I said before 2019, I know more ebo modern a collapse in the banks. Obekaya. And it talks about the economic and financial sector control. And it talks about the introduction, the phase 1, phase 2, then the phase 4, no? And banking, insurance, and capital market. As we speak today, the insurance companies of Ghana, no, is being controlled by Ken Oforiata. Now, as we speak today, the banking sector of Ghana, no, has been collapsed by these people. Why was it? What was the reason why in collapse banks, no? Because they were seeing Dr. Indum as becoming popular. Dr. Indum had every bank in rural areas where Barclays Bank cannot go. So people automatically in villages, in towns, in cities, got to know of Dr. Indum. And they were scared. Because Dr. Indum, no, the ideology of free Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Now, these Achim people are people who are haters of Kwame Nkrumah. It was Kwame Nkrumah that made the Ashanti powerful. But they preached to us that Nkrumah did not make Ashantis powerful. It was the Ashantis. Nkrumah, knowing that he is an Nzima, and Nzimas and Ashantis, Dear bibi asante kotoko enzima kotoko. Enti wokɔ asante mu a yɛwɔ ɔyɔko abusua woba nzima mu a the same family wo. Menkomu too much. Fano to hɔ. Yɛnkɔ ɛyɛ project. Ɔmo se Ghana yɛ ɔmo project, ɔmo personal project. Nti yɛnkom. But meka we no so nkyerɛ sɛ woyɛ achimini a Dr. Rene Town no nkɔfo bi a ɔmo yɛ achimfo bi a ɔmo de ɔmo susu ɔmo yɛ superior than all the other achims, and then they want to take charge and control Ghana's destiny, Ghana's future, Ghana's natural resources, Ghana's finances, Ghana's capital market, and ɔmo kind. So then they came to the financial sector no. And banking, insurance, capital market, and about mining, oil, and gas industries, and about telecommunication. And then what to say, Vodafone, almost 70% shares. Company burn the top free Vodafone, you don't know. Company net ton, a kufu on the percentage send a womb. You don't know. You are not asking. You are thinking about things that are not of relevance. The people are what? Taking control of our money. And Ghanaian journalists can never talk about it. They are seeking first the economic and financial power. AGYAPADE na yebe no dia wo oje omo de nyansa kwan so fa. She said they are brofun be wiaye no eye slaves no. This is what they are doing to Ghana. Gofo kakra bi o. Akufo-Addo kind of foriata or for repaying. Have you asked yourself, say, Addo na JB Dankwa ye kuno ebesine enkofo no mukun JB Dankwa no. Yentwe omaso. We've not brought them to book. Adams no akwa. Webusa ho. JB Dankwa na ye kuno no. Ne grandfather the direct JB Dankwa. Akufo-Addo mo de wo nye the direct JB Dankwa. Yenko the economic and financial sector control. Introduction 1. Mama about YouTube ya me mama kwaba Ishmael Bangura michiao Lesmens michiao watch it michiao Augustina Arthur michiao Otiaba. I see you sis. Yanko economic and financial control. Okay, but before I call economic and financial control, me I say remember all the breakdown what content so that you understand. So the first one it talks about a friend is saying the economic and financial sector control, and it talks about control of the banking sector, the control of insurance sector, control of the capital market, control of mining, control of oil, control of gas, control of telecommunication. Intino uhunu se galamse ne koswa boapayo. Uhunu galamsa koswa boapayo. Uhunu se ye science ma fonsu a boapayo. What you say? Yes, science my phones, actually, water is life. A lot of people will start dying. They will come and do 1 or 2 projects. Then the people of Inzimes will start believing in the Achim people. So when they were in difficulties, it was Oforipeni that came to their rescue. A strategy. You saw it in Akosombo Dam spillage. It was strategic. So what you say? It was strategic. And that is the reason why when John Mahama said so we declare Akufo-Addo should declare state of emergency, I quickly had to speak to some of John Dramani Mahama's personal aide to explain to him what he has said in details. When the security person says that he declare state of emergency, it is only the president per his own prerogative and a left that state of emergency. No. And Akufo-Addo, if you tell him to declare state of emergency, will use the state of emergency to propagate his own evil agenda or setting. So he only was setting the ball rolling. And John Dramani Mahama was also pushing it without even thinking. His thought was that, oh, it's true. And I mean, in Suafa Kuruno, he declared state of emergency so that they can get what? Relief items. But he never thought to say, after the relief items, no, or before the relief items, no, or the space of relief items, no, it can take 4 or 5 years. About the say, I want my president to me. It's about the political terrain. The political terrain, it talks about the party. Then it tells you about Kennedy Akompre with Japan or Kasadodo. Young control no. A crime bench they be fast be control. And they talked about Samuel Uku. Say Samuel Uku pe madodo. They planted Samuel Uku. They used Samuel Uku. Boys are kaya. They form boys are girls are boys, girls. They controlled him. Omurie no the John Boedu Dimbekan. Remember, I said John Boedu was the general secretary of the MPP. And I'm saying John Boedu or no one saw none way free. No, I done Jimmy. Or no one saw Kasa. In the area crime be so. Even the Omen use to Sanko for we win now. Omen use to go for we move. You remember how we use to kind of a year friends saying Kennedy Akompre Kwen Japan we use to sa no we use to Samuel Uku sa no we use to John Boedu sa. And to we use to no mo sa no Sanko for we na see a crime be so near there. You cut woman. Said you won't grow wings too much, don't become more powerful. And what we call the Rollins factor. Where is Rollins today? He's dead, buried. Mebwana. Where is Rollins today? He's dead, buried. Mebwana. Ahinepangasa, that is true. Kanda padie. Onu de, oni akufa na nu wi. And it is not said me go anymore. That is what they want. I'm not me go anymore. Almost shen tampe. Oni akufa na no tampe no. Kendapa, who you be a shen tampe saying Kandapa, a bet you to prison. The Omudia are very close by. So the political terrain, it talks about the Rollins factor. Then it talks about the minor parties. And to be to say, a friend is saying Apalu. They give Apalu money. They use Apalu. Do you know the reason why they form a lot of small parties? Do you know why? They know that the small parties will not win. The small parties themselves, they know they will not win. The small parties, they know they will not win. But do you know why? Ghana is not a country. There were foreign partners. What do you say? You're a member of the United Nations. You're a member of ECOWAS. You're a member of a friend is an AU. So you're two small parties. This is what the small parties does. The small party in the end say, who? And then I'm also now team a party, me a small party no. You're got to abandon in area. That's an opposition party no. Or being and what I say about 2 or 2 years more. The smaller parties will come forward and say no, about a real. It was free and fair election. The moment you say free and fair election, the Americans will pick the signal and say apart from this particular major opposition party, all the other smaller parties are saying the election was free and fair. So how come this particular major political party is saying it's not free and fair? They will take the word of the other parties because they are more than you only the major party, no, minority party, no. Why the major minority party? So they will not take your word serious. They will take it serious, but they also equally take the same words other smaller parties very serious. To be to say Don Kobeka say it's free and fair. Now America for GAD because a registered party by the EC. They respect laws and rules. That is what they practice in their country. But they don't know, say, in our country, it is the opposite. Britain will also respect the laws of the EC because their country, they respect the laws, the rules, and regulation. It is an EC, other party be, and so I say the elections was free and fair. Why be? Then, Omo Mbabe inspect Abaton. Almost can say, oh, the foreign envoy for it was free and fair, and free and fair. Normally, the Jinaso said, we are opposition party now own Tiasia, go to court. So the reason why they form smaller parties is to assist the ruling party in what? Winning election. Majority of these smaller parties. Odi kemu nyina saa na no omote. Ana ene omunya ho nsachiraye because sika ne nkobie. Tie mi wa. Odi ase saa pepepe. Enti yemfa no nto na yenko eye efre ne sen. Eye the yenko enti machiro about the economic ekwan ambefa so control the economic and financial sector. Ekwan ambefa so control the political terrain. Enti machiro political terrain nipa omo esusu se womo no omo ye omo esi akwan the Rollins factor Kennedy Japan Sami Ewuku John Boadu and then the other minor parties ni bi. Enti omo wie no ba religion and chieftaincy. Into religion and chieftaincy, they talks about a year Bishop Charles Ajinasari. And they said, and say what they said of Captain Smart, can say Bishop Charles Ajinasari. Who year? It is because Bishop Ajinasari needing a year book in him. Bishop Ajinasari a year in Zama Kakra. And I think say Achim Kakra. I stand to be corrected. Now Bishop Ajinasari, on the ideology, even though he's a pastor, is more in line with Kwame Nkrumah's ideology. Obviously, many in sense, my food, they believe in the ideology of Kwame Nkrumah, and then don't. But maybe the casa, the behavior, and the attitude, and about Sam Crunchy Ankra. Now, Sam Crunchy Ankra over the years, no. Now sorry, no, a year Kokumlemle or Tia, sorry, no, Kokumlemle. Kumasi Market, Ubi onim Kumasi Market, Peckham, they were people who almost started sorry. Now, or you'll be a papa, no, you'll be a ni no, ni no, ni yes, ni yes. Oya papa Obeka, Oya Bonia Obeka. That is who Sam Crunchy Ankra right here. People like that, you cannot control them. They cannot become your slave. What you see? Now, Pastor Mensa Otabil, omo ne tete Pastor Mensa Otabil, omo ne sponsor no, eje asase ma no, ewo a friend say Dodu wow. They control Pastor Mensa Otabil. Pastor Mensa Otabil, Ekufuad mobile na enyoma nku ye status so all can. And omo de Capital Bank. Omo share there gu no. Omo ye no de small boy no call kokujina court. And omo che small boy near the etum. The small boy was Pastor Mensa Otabil nakora. The chair say ya can Pastor Mensa Otabil and want to or kasa yet never court jailin yet never tum. He is afraid to talk the way Anna Mahama Motiwana no more kasa. That is the reason why it's something I wonder why NDC for no are always thinking say some pastors should talk for them when you people can also train some of your pastors to start speaking for you. And now there will be Eden ama waduane edi ahwew aboa a wonim weakness wonim nyoma waye wosumase a obetimi agina so de atia wo no obi fufuro beka je se kokasa asem ne tie but obviously Otabe onye ewia ne about the national chief imam eyo obi a ne afi wo ye ne hwe enye yi ekwan ba so ana papa yi ebetimi ne circle na wo no etimi influence wo mo na etimi control wo mo. They have a lot of people who are more national chief imam who are they control them. Now, we know about the national situation as regard the media landscape. We know books is about and nurse be about 33 pages. 33 pages. Now, I mean a little bit about a friend is saying media no. Okay, I mean come about Sami Ewuku kakra. I mean Brad John Boadu. Or say Sami is a very good material with excellent political prospects. His loyalty to Nana should be acknowledged to encourage him to repeat his 2016 effort of getting to the grounds to mobilize the youth. It is imperative, however, to watch his seeming rift with and Kojo upon Nkrumah. Eti Kojo upon Nkrumah no mu grooming say Ochimba be president. What they are saying, of free Eastern region, obviously, Achimini, Ochiman, they want their people to lead the nation. They be asa, Jomo Grumi, Kojo upon Nkrumah. 230 MPP for can and now Kojo upon Nkrumah is a future president. Kojo upon Nkrumah, nobody they call Kivas, almost to was the Titin or Kivas, only no call a friend is saying Joy FM, what you say, Uncle Yegma or your money tunnel, 1 year or more bidding, and Fama when it comes to the media, Kojo upon Nkrumah, Sana no what here. To us. Say, it is imperative, however, to watch his seemingly rift with and Kojo upon Nkrumah. His loyalty beyond the term of Nana cannot be guaranteed. Hence, the need to go all out and prop up Kojo upon Nkrumah in a subtle way. It may be instructive to prepare pieces of information regarding his encounters with the women, which appears to be in essence in his case. Into the Omocho Han said, Sami Okuyo be a pemba. What I say? The Omo canning and say, Sami Okuyo or a womanizer. It Abena Kokwa man who walk about Sami Okuno, and Yentro. What I say? Abena Koko encounter with Sami Oku, I know correct. Now, Omo Twaso said, hence, the need, it may be instructive to prepare pieces of information regarding his encounters with the women. Young gather pieces of information, the womanizing. They will use that particular information to come after him, to strike him. And as some of those information, Ebia Samuel who encounter with some women, Ebia it was what? Under duress, Ebia or for so maybe and that's why the rape case against him, Samuel. So I don't know what they have done over the years. They say, Obibia Omano was signed behind. They still have something about you. Woman the Betua Bontina, a criminal to implicate you into a bit said Dr. Otabel. On to me Kasantia Kufuado because they have many stories about him. What you say? Into what one way many of these pastors cannot talk because they hold them by their balls. And this is for team now. Hey, Christian Council were here. Majority of the people, majority of the churches are forming Christian Council. Leaders need to be brainwashed. They sponsor them. They make sure say, a friend is saying tickets. The first time on my in two coin, a young people for the sponsor can they compare with Japan sponsor deliberately. And to us, or see, it makes him vulnerable to blackmail as a national organizer and a key campaign person. It is perhaps important to limit his access to the inner circle and cording him off gradually by introducing Mustafa Hamid during the final bout of the campaign. This will, in essence, shield Nana from any damage arising from a leak of Sami's escape. Sami, they know a kufa to say Sami Uku, and also Pemasa, Sewa Bruni case is there. Yamfa, Harina, Mustafa Hamid, and filling in the gaps, sending Mguasibi and Konkoba. These people have everything covered. They have everything covered, documented, fully. They are following everything. See, a key point, however, is a much dangerous flirtations with the Kufuor camp, an aspect which raises serious questions regarding the need to contain him. Sami Uku is very close to Kufuor. They don't want that. They don't want that. It's because they don't want that. We need to keep eye on Samuel Oku. When you're rough, we can poison him and kill him. These people are dangerous. This is what he said. Obite said, John Kumewa. You should not be surprised by say Obia poison. No? Because John Kuma was Alan Kujo Tremantin boy. He campaigned on Alan. And when he MP, he believes in Alan. So the fear factor is still there. Even though he's a finance minister, he can support to Alan. What you see? Support to Alan financially. Alan also attend wa forming afafranto. These people know all these things. So today, what you say? And go full way, maybe maybe Sisia. Wono a young one. Some person when you copy of this, a friend is saying, a Japade book no, just go on Google or type in the Japadia, you will just get it and then just read it. I will encourage you say Obianya binomu read because our next lessons, our next class, no, yeba Obian fan de na yen contribute yen komo emfa because we need to do this. What you say? We have to know the people that leads our nation. That is the reason why they promised of building a cathedral, but they couldn't fulfill building the cathedral. It's as the cathedral was meant to build, to be used to, organize bear money, bear meda, or bani or beda, because if you do maybe bear money, bear meda, or bani or beda, won't me conquer no Pentecost as already. What you say? Won't me conquer no a Pentecost as already. The only thing I bear is a national cathedral. What you say? That was one of the aims in Tianomode. National Cathedral neighbor. And number two, the National Cathedral and Kebabe eventually a Kenuforiata there. It even though Ghana for the ACDA, but in books, no, in on a one cratem, a bear Ken Uforiata media. Now, another question, how about the Duncan Williams? Now, Duncan Williams, you'll be a Kufuado. He knows a Kufuado. A Kufuado knows Duncan Williams, and they obey birds of the same feathers. With all respect to a Duncan, make up birds of the same feathers. Or no sooner say you be a. You cannot just control him because he are connecting in and out, or you're more connected, and or you'll be so he knows how to position himself and talk. And he didn't himself be an wasamaka. Didn't say Obenam Quambi so. Now they are there. Now they are kind of somebody because Duncan Williams has also groomed people. When it comes to Ghana, Noah, you cannot just attack him and go scot-free. No, because the moment you attack him, men like Bishop Daggy Ward Mills will come after you. Even in his own church, MPP4, NDC4, or no one was sponsor or one MPs, ministers, not only MPP, NDC so. So Duncan Williams is well connected. What do you say? Hey, because also know he has studied. Don't forget to say his father was a diplomat under your friend is Kwame Nkrumah's time. Yes, the papa was a diplomat. Kwame Nkrumah time. So when it comes to Duncan Williams, on those who have studied the terrain, Anna Eja, what cover no, we see the chi, and what building for. And that is how it is. If you want to have dominance and control and have power to do things, you have to bring up some people. So good leaders always are people at the think of for. I'll give you an example. America. Ocean documentary, a friend of The Godfather. Now, America, no. Maybe a friend of Clarence Evan. Now, record label, success. Record label, success. And the reason our two did success, no, that record label, they say, I see two things now, no, we are no sex and success. They are combining the word, no, success. What do I say? Sex and success. Emra omo efa Obama no. He was the person Bill Clinton had to contact because Clarence Evan, when it comes to the music and movie industry, he controls it. So men like a friend is saying, Denzel Washington, they see him, even though Denzel Washington is a big man, he's a huge person. They pay homage to him. What do I say? So people like that, they have to consult him, get the black vote from the black communities because he controls. What do I say? Because he was the person who was always standing in for the black people at Hollywood. So eventually, the black people fell in love with him. The people with the talent, or no one go school. Clarence Evan, no one go school, but he was somebody who was very courageous. That is how he designed himself, packaged himself. Let me use that word, packaged himself, and got people, assisted people on the streets in Washington, Chicago, places. So when you touch them, they have the people that will come. Everybody said Duncan Williams. Too much. And then we've learned about the foreword of what a friend is saying. AGYAPADE book netie. I just give you a little bit about the Samia Uku. How capture the financial sector deliberately. Say Google banks, it was a deliberate to cripple the Ghanaian businesses, to cripple the Ghanaian bankers, the owners of more banks, just to make them poor, just to make them, struggle so that they can take over. And then I had the base. Make also say still a food bank, if you want to support, you WhatsApp me or you go on my page. What you say? Kakrebia benyebia babia no. We accept it. What you say? What we do is we give the old mothers and the aunties, the young ones, we assist them. At least a momoto kakra, oil kakra, tomatoes kakra, sardine kakra. Now on also say be with menya movie, a biane kakra bi no anua na eja ono so eja wenya modin. A comma ya, what you say so baby GH a comma ya. Until Dr. Ren means so my far to me also a million. Obviously, I wish I have all the money in the world to assist and help. So with this meaning in an internet, I can't come now you want to support her. Why not? You will be by Riasia. Sebi when you funa hoba. Entiende money sika come out mameno. Obi owa oti krasia. When you will be impono amaneno. And you might think abrabona ending. Such people we need to support them. We need to assist them. And the food bank near a form of a system. Yede eboa wo. Nti eja bashase wo enzema elembele. Nti we have dates of collection. Data eja omoba na among fruits, vegetables, omangasa kofia na eja. Go omoba. I think it's my brother say see the last time ebi mo ba mbeji no come so aka transport, and I understand, it's not easy, but yeah, a baby as I'm fashion by a quiet fashion continue moving in Yame adum not itimi gina baby kakra. We do our best to support, because it's not easy. Mami phone be by you. Ombeji ni ama no mo kono. So many transport. So we had to assist. And you see, one of the things I find out me who say, you know, mo hano, mo ya de pa, mo boa pa, mo follow Dr. Ren. Mo bebre ni the nyoma bebre atudwa wa support. This is the first time me, myself, personally, I am appealing to you to support what I'm doing. Oh, Elembele. Obviously, Kwame Nkrumah. What you does Ghana there? Give them car, they will ask for petrol money. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. One of the things that we find out, they said there was a lady there or by now on your accident. I just find out from my brother on your accident. Now Okoda Hospital and Omiji no Kofi. The mother is blind. Imam no nifra ni. Ohun ade nti maame no onye adwuma or a disabled person. Nti Okofi, you know, the mother is the only child. Oni papa bi nso a papa no ga say wo hwe no. Em say me sure say papa na ore ye no. Em so koya na adwudie ni bi na bi a maame ni nsem mo fa nche me. It's not something funny but nti oba fie omuyi ni ba fie. And am say oni aduane a wudi nti no. Or no medication on raw stomach. Now just think about it. Say we are now we hear a piano because obviously it is the nutrient in the mouth. A drone will support it, will help you. What do I say? So at the end of the day, we have to understand. Say our people need support and help. So obviously, all of us should come on board and let us all support. Maybe a year we never to me page you. It's why we follow me behind YouTube. Best more Obana Basha. We be for the first time maybe your barber into my mirror say menya a year details na also about support. Kitu be answer. What I say, kitu be answer. I finished one. So this is it. Kitu be answer. So when you come, just support a little bit. Support a little bit. Just you wait to me now. And then show Mr. Moa. Could not be being cassette. And I'm see kaka crab a day quack winner. A branch and a dada, me a GM puncture. Wait to me, so it's all up to us. I may read the comment too. I think I'm signing out by comment number. I say, Dr. Ren, we have to consider the fact that this leak document is a distraction from something bigger they are planning. So let's get on the ground and know if there is a bigger agenda they are cooking. They will go football or why they will come and tell you, so let's get on the ground and do something. But they don't support you to be on the ground though. That's the thing, Dr. Bernard. I'm on support so that we can do the job on the ground. Some of you don't want to support too, but how can we be on the ground when there is no support coming? Dr. Bernard, how can we? That's why we are trying to educate people so that at least everybody can also get on board. What else here? Henry Jeffrey, thank you so much, sir. Henry Jeffrey, the only day. If you are not on board, crank me, I'm from. I draw from poor man, I draw me boy. I won't go football, they be get on the ground, get on the ground, yes. At the end of the day, get on the ground. Instead of them to come on board, they will not come on board that way. But I know Sabia is saying it in a good faith, but I mean, can't say I'm not taking on board this advice. I am, but the best more because one more boy and be brain I draw from Paul Mamo, Noble more Ahanipan Kasai, Ayora Henry Jemfi, Mame Barbara Bedford, Philida Manfo. I draw from Paul Macra, the more no friend me, Obi and one and watching me maniska. What you say? It's your best get on board, Only boom, the night train, Yeah, not any easy, sir. And I'll be honest with you. The hardship is really in Ghana. I'm saying President John Mahama by or catch saying see then in Ghana no yenye SOS in Frankoma Union no fie. Ye ma me ne papa na ebusuafo because ahokere no enye agro. Eye real is the fact is the truth. What you say? Eye fact, eye the truth. Do you know? Yenti ase. We can only do ti mo so nyina mo ba na mo bebo a e ma ye koye nim. Why? Abusua number no na mabomodin ade mepini ato. What you say? Ti ahwene pankasa mo de mo omo mame saba mo ne na kwale mo ne na takra mo de omo butanti mo yo mo hwia Adams mo no omo de omo butanti yo mo hwia ne eje mo ne eje se me return ne call. Watch it abusua. Yada mo nyina ma se obo ade nka mo nyame adom a ochina we'll talk about a year acquire more fast so more cripple the financial sector. We'll talk about it. Open being so I can so I call Google. Just go Google it. Type AGYAPADE. Thank you so much, my mister. Oko a year Google just type AGYAPADE because nyame had much nano. Over classes are for AGYAPADE notes in the bra. What you say? Oh, AGYAPADE no be fat. Menka ne saa na hu se mani abre wo wagya no ekufu ado de fa de amane maame eklia ne maame ne nuanom ne ma no asebio omo hye ntampe omo hwinim adane chinri no ebu husie hu ha ade bi edua ne ma no ekufu ado de wo wagya no o de ma wo mo. We need to be serious to china wo ba class fa AGYAPADE book ne bra. Because open to page 1, page 2, page 3, nyina just we MPP ni a or catcher we kwan obefa so a obesay Ashanti MPP for na wa Ashanti mem no or kire we kwan obefa so obegi ye gold ye diamond ye bauxite ye oil ye gas. So we all have to understand. Ye nananom se sa adwene na nkomu di kura ana nkomu di chichiri kuro no a enka ye mu bi no nkia ma beto Ghana no. They said ye nei omotonton state lands di bebredi amakofo na no se mu hu bebi okosie ne yere enya ne dia wo ankutua wo aban no state land and wagye atai ne niase. Ladies and gentlemen, let us have a great weekend.